me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally. Jai Sri Sri Shashtakam Ki.
Father's here, so can you ask question? Table lari ya. Hare Krishna. जय राधा माधवा गुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा गुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदना ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा गुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा गुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य ष्टोत्तर सतश्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभे चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रांतराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की सर। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So I'd like to welcome all the devotees for today's Sunday feast class. Today we are continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are on the 18th chapter, 47th verse. Shreyan swadharmo viguna, Shreyan swadharmo viguna, Paradharmat swanushtitat, Paradharmat swanushtitat, Swabhavaniyatam karma, Swabhavam niyatam karma, Kurvan napnoti kilbisham, Kurvan napnoti kilbisham. Shreyan swadharmo viguna, Paradharmat swanushritat, Swabhavaniyatam karma, Purvan napnoti kilbisham. Prabhuji. Mataji's. Shreyan swadharmo viguna paradharmat swanushtita svabhava niyatam karma kurvan apnoti kilbisham. Okay, word to word translation. Shreyan, better. Swadharma, one's own occupation. Viguna, imperfectly performed. Paradharmat, then another's occupation. Swanushtita, perfectly done. Swabhava niyatam, prescribed according to one's nature. Karma, work. Kurvan, performing. Na, never. Apnoti, achieves. Kilbisham, sinful reactions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. Purport. One's occupational duty is prescribed in Bhagavad Gita. As already discussed in previous verses, the duties of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra are prescribed according to their particular modes of nature. One should not imitate another's duty. A man who is by nature attracted to the kind of work done by Shudras should not artificially claim to be a Brahmana, although he may be born in a Brahmana family. In this way, one should work according to his own nature. No work is abominable if performed in the service of the Supreme Lord. This is an important statement. No work is abominable if performed in the service of the Supreme Lord. The occupational duty of a Brahmana is certainly in the mode of goodness, but if a person is not by nature in the mode of goodness, he should not imitate the occupational duty of a Brahmana. For a Kshatriya or administrator, there are so many abominable things. A Kshatriya has to be violent to kill his enemies. Sometimes a Kshatriya has to tell lies for the sake of diplomacy. Such violence and duplicity accompany political affairs. But a Kshatriya is not supposed to give up his occupational duty and try to perform the duties of a Brahmana. One should act to satisfy the Supreme Lord. For example, Arjuna was a Kshatriya. He was hesitating to fight the other party. But if such fighting is performed for the sake of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there need be no fear of degradation. In the business field also, here meaning Vaishya, sometimes a merchant has to tell so many lies to make a profit. Right? If he does not do so, there can be no profit. Sometimes a merchant says, "Oh my dear customer, for you I am making no profit." But one should know that without profit, the merchant cannot exist. Therefore, it should be taken as a simple lie if a merchant says that he is not making a profit. If a businessman say that, "I'm not making any profit," isn't it? It's simply a lie, isn't it? All business people are smiling. Very good. But the merchant should not think that because he is engaged in the occupation in which telling lies is compulsory, he should give up his profession, pursue the profession of a Brahmana. That is not recommended. Okay? Whether one is a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra does not matter. If he serves by his work the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even Brahmanas who perform different types of sacrifice sometimes must kill animals, because sometimes animals are sacrificed in such ceremonies. Of course, not in Kali Yuga. Similarly, if a Kshatriya engaged in his own occupation kills an enemy, there is no sin incurred. In the third chapter, In the 3rd chapter, these matters have been clearly and elaborately explained. Every man should work for the purpose of yajna. Right? 3.13 Yajna Shishto Yajnot Karmano Anyatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhana. Or for Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anything done for personal sense gratification is a cause of bondage. The conclusion is that everyone should be engaged according to the particular modes of nature he has acquired, and he should decide to work only to serve the supreme cause of the Supreme Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanyebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Loudly. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees, all the senior devotees who are sitting here, that we will discuss something about this very, very important and famous verse in Bhagavad Gita. So here in this shloka, Krishna has, so in this section, Krishna has been telling Arjuna about the different modes. So if you remember Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters divided into 3 sections, right? What are the 3 sections? Rice, dal, sabji. What are 3 sections? Karma Yoga. Someone repeated rice, dal, sabji, no? Huh? Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So the last section of Bhagavad Gita, which is from chapter 13 to chapter 18, is talking about Jnana Yoga. And Jnana Yoga basically means what? Karma Yoga tells you how to act, what you should do, what you should not do. That's the beginning 6 chapters, right? In essence, they tell you that you should act according to scriptures, act according to guidance of Guru. And in 4 chapters in the beginning, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, 2, 3, 4, 4 chapters, they warn us, Krishna warns us about controlling our senses. Because in karma, to do activity, the most difficult thing which will make our karma or make our karya, make our activity spoil is our own self. We are the destroyers of our own success, isn't it? So when our senses are not controlled, we cannot act properly. So in the first 6 chapters, Krishna tells how to act. Follow a guru, follow Shastra, your act should be bona fide. And then he warns, be careful of your senses. It's because of the senses only in 4 chapters, in all the ending of the 4 chapters. Same thing again, senses. Your senses will undo you. That is the first 6 chapters in summary, in 1 minute. Right? What the essence of it. In the middle 6 chapters which talk about bhakti, Krishna now reveals who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is, who we really are, and how these energies are involved. So the identities of Ishvara, the identities of Jiva, and the identities of Prakriti, these 3 things are mentioned in the middle 6 chapters. And what's their relationship? Now this last 6 chapters, which is called Jnana Yoga, this is very practical. After hearing all this, now living in this world, not wanting to be of this world, how do we actually function? Right? We know that we are souls, that we have this body. I know I need to go back to Godhead. But how do we practically live in this world? That is this last 6 chapters. Practical action. Jnana Yoga means this practical action, knowledge of how to live in this world, but not of this world. So the last 6 chapters are not something that we avoid. It's part and parcel of who we are, because we are living in this world. In this last few verses before this, Krishna has told Arjuna about the modes of material nature, and especially the qualities of work. Right? Everyone has to work, yes or no? Whether you get paid or not is a different thing. But everyone has to work. Right? You don't like to go to work, but you still have to work, because that's in nature. So before these verses, you must be seeing the last few Sundays. They talk about the qualities of a Brahmana, they talk about the qualities of a Kshatriya, qualities of a Vaishya, and qualities of a Shudra. Now, this is not something that we think that, oh, I can pick and choose, Like when you go for a buffet, every day I eat rice, let's eat something else. It's not a pick and choose thing. It is some indication of our born with blueprint. Right? And here in this purport, Prabhupada very nicely says that there is no mistake, there is no fault in any of this work. So if you're given a choice, all of us here sitting here today, if you give you the 4 Varnas or the 4 colors, what will everyone choose? What will everyone choose? Don't want to say, You don't want to choose. You have to choose. Only 4, Kshatriya, Prabhu says, want to fight. But generally, what do people choose? Brahmana. Why? Nak tinggi lah. Pangkat tinggi kan. If you are given an option to work in a company and they said what position you want, you can choose anything lah. CEO directly lah, correct or not? Who want to work as the this and that, right or not? So simply we tend to think that, oh, the top is the best. But what may be best for some people may not be the best for us, because we all have an innate nature. And it's mentioned that there is no fault in any work. Can you imagine if there is a whole society of Brahmanas, only Brahmanas? What will happen? Peaceful? So peaceful, no one will do anything. All will just fast. Who will cook? Who will make? Who will clean? No problem. Clean and dirt, all is one. Let's just sit like that. So it's like Satya Yuga, no one endeavored for much. But logically speaking, you can't keep society sane. So you need everyone, isn't it? So for example, you guys work in offices or in colleges. And sometimes when we go to office, we go to college, they are the managers, the big guys who wears the suit and the boot, and they come in and everyone's like, whoa, good morning sir, good morning sir. And they are those people who move around the office or school very invisible. The cleaners. Right? You don't even notice them. No one says good morning to them also. When something dirty, kakak, tolong bersihkan lah. Then you notice them. Else they are invisible. But are they not important? Everybody is important, right? So no job is disgraceful. One should not think that any kind of work, there is no kind of work which is below us. Every kind of work is important, and therefore we should give value to this work. Now, beautiful some lines in the purport which I think are very, very important. Just repeat some. You can show, not show, that's fine. I'm just repeating some lines in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, right? Do not imitate another's duty, right? And one should not artificially claim to be something else. If you work according to your nature, there is no fear of degradation. Right? Might be a little difficult to find. Because I'm just reading from here and there. Every man should ultimately work for Krishna, work for the purpose of yajna. And last, you can show that, very last section. The conclusion is that everyone should be engaged according to the mode of nature he has acquired. How did we acquire it? Did we buy it? Did we ask for it? It is just something given with this body based on our purva karma, isn't it? So the first lesson that comes is do not fight who you are. Big thing, huh? Do not fight who you are. We are who we are, isn't it? But unfortunately, in today's day and age, all of us spend so much time fighting who we are. Yes or no? Early morning, you get up, you look in the mirror. Why am I so black? Huh? Want to come fair. There are people in this world who stand in the sun for 4 hours, still they are white. And there are some of us who stand half an hour, 15 minutes, we become black. All Mata is smiling. We are who we are. But 70%, 80% of the time in our lives, we spend fighting who we are. There are people who eat a little rice and they become fat. And there are people who eat all the rice, still they become thin. The fat person is thinking, why am I like this? The thin person is thinking, why am I like this? Right? So we spend a lot of time fighting who we are. No, my hair is curly, I want it straight. My hair is straight, I want it curly. I have hair, I remove it. And those who do not have hair, I know you're thinking that only. And those who have hair, they are thinking, those who don't have hair, they are thinking, I want some hair. So a lot of time goes in fighting who we are. But actually life is not about fighting who we are. If we learn a little acceptance of who we are, then we can actually start living life. All this while we are not living life, we are just fighting who we are. Trying to see why, how. Hair turn white, make it black. Hair is black, people put some other color after that. So we are fighting who we are. But life is meant first for self-acceptance. You accept who you are, then you can really live life. It's a big lesson Krishna is teaching us. So, in this verse, actually is a repeated verse in Bhagavad Gita. There are some, Bhagavad Gita is how many verses? 700 verses, right? Not so much actually. 700 verses only, right? So, these are repeated verses, just like Manmana Bhava Mat Bhakto is repeated twice, 9 chapter, 18 chapter. Similarly, this verse is also repeated almost 95% of the verse. So, if you look at the verse, where is it? I think Madhusudan Bro, you can sit there because there will be some homework to type. Sorry. I didn't tell you earlier, you ran away. So 95% of the verse is similar. So there's a verse in the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam 3.35. I'll just recite, you'll see how similar this is. Okay. So that verse goes, Shreyan Swadharmo Viguna. What? This is 3.35. Paradharmat Swanushtitat. Same? Right? Swadharme Nidanam Shreya. Little different. Swadharme is Swabhava, Niyatam Karma. Swadharme Nidanam Shreya Paradharmodbhayavaha. That chapter says, that verse in that chapter says that if you do somebody else's dharma, it is like riding a bhayavaha. Bhayavaha means fearful vehicle. Fearful vehicle. Avaha means something which is carrying. What is that verse? Yogakshemam vahami aham. Vahami, carrying. Vahanam, the same root word. Vahami. Bhayavaha means that which carries fear. If you do somebody else's work which is not your nature, it is only carrying fear. It is creating fear. Fear in yourself, fear in others also. How? We will go, today's class is all about this only. How to create fear in others. No. Today's class is how that if we do others' work, we will create fear in ourselves, create fear in the society as well. Here it's mentioned that if you do your own work, you avoid sin. So Prabhupada gives that example, isn't it? A Kshatriya who sometimes has to kill, sometimes have to lie for diplomacy. But that is considered okay. A Vaishya sometimes have to lie for the sake of business. That is considered okay. So, I was thinking, now comes your homework part. You can open a new sheet. We want to write 4 qualities. All 4 qualities have to be seen at one glance. Basically, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Okay? Things which are not supposed to be seen, you can cover it. Yeah. So I'm going to base today's discussion on a very beautiful class and seminar that I attended by Her Grace Urmila Mataji. And I find it one of the best understandings or thesis on this Varna. So Her Grace Urmila Mataji, Srila Prabhupada disciple, very senior personality. She has come to this temple. She has given the course on career dharma. Right? I heard some people have attended. So I'm going to base on one section of the book. I liked it so much that I spoke to her after the class. The whole book, how many of you have seen the book, Career Dharma? Right, small book, huge book, Oxford Dictionary. When I saw it, I said, Mataji, you did not write a book, you wrote a thesis. Isn't it? PhD thesis. She said, yes, exactly. So in the last section of her book, chapter 5, chapter 6, she speaks about this section of mixed dharmas. Right? What is known as Mishra Dharma. What happens when a person who is by the nature of a Brahmana ends up doing a work of a Kshatriya? Meaning a person by the nature of idea generator ends up doing a work of those who are administrating. You understand? Sounds scary itself, huh? Or a person who is meant to do assisting work, what we call as Shudra, is placed into the position of idea generator. Right? A Brahmana's position. What will happen? Very topsy-turvy, isn't it? So we are going to look at all this crossing of fields. I appreciated Mataji saying that because the way her book is designed is she do definitions, then she do the formulae, then she presents this, and last she does crossing of the fields. I said, Mataji, this is exactly what Rupa Goswami did in Nectar of Devotion. In Nectar of Devotion, you know 4 oceans are there. Yes? What are the 4 oceans? Pacific, Atlantic. What are the 4 oceans? East Ocean, Southern Ocean, Western Ocean, Northern Ocean. Rupa Goswami did the same thing. In the Eastern Ocean, he gives all the definitions of all what is bhakti. In the Southern Ocean, he gives the definition of rasa. What is rasa? No, we want it. We want, yeah. I given him homework. Yeah. We want that. In the Southern Ocean, he gives definition of rasa. In the Western Ocean, he gives the different kinds of rasa, definitions of different kinds of rasas. Right? How many rasas are there? How many rasas are there? We are entering a relationship with Krishna. How many rasas are there? 5 primary rasas, and others are 7 secondary rasas. Right? 5 and 7. So we are focusing on the 5 primary rasas, of which one of the rasa is not accounted for us. What is that? Shantaras. Shantaras we are not accounting. We only take the 4 main rasas. So then the last section, which is the Northern Ocean, Rupa Goswami writes, what happens when you mix the rasas? He gives an example. So one day, one of Krishna's friends saw Subala, not Subal Prabhu, Subal, Krishna's friend. And he starts telling to Subala, now Subala is Krishna's friend, they're like brothers, right? Sakyaras, which is fraternity, they're like brothers. So one time one of Krishna's friends starts telling to Subala, oh Subala, did you know that Krishna was walking, plucking some flowers, he met a gopi and he was exchanging glasses. And Subala's like, oh, don't tell me all these details. He's my friend, I don't want to hear all this. Isn't it? To hear the love story of your friend. It's like Subala's like, I don't want to hear all this, Krishna's my friend. So he said there brings out 2 rasas. The rasas of Madhurya and the rasas of Sakya. Sometimes these rasa go together very nicely. Sometimes. Right? Sometimes they are viruddha. You know viruddha? Viruddha means go against. We have viruddha ahar. When you mix food which are not supposed to go together. Right? You take milk and you put urga. You put achar inside milk. Nice or not? That is vidura ahar. Huh? Right? Viruddha ahar. Opposite. You're not supposed to eat like that. Don't eat like that. Huh? So similarly, there are also rasas which go against each other and rasas which go nicely together. So similarly, in Urmila Mati's book as well, she has made that what happens when these fields cross. Now there's no good in this. There's bad only. And someone may say, Prabhuji, I feel that I'm a mix of 2. Not possible. Not possible. For that you need to read the whole book. Else this will be a very long seminar. But we are going to talk what happens if this field crosses. Because this is the shloka, 2 times it comes in Bhagavad Gita, what happens. Okay? Now first, before we talk about the fields crossing, let us understand the very general traits about this field. So here it's mentioned, Jai Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan ki, Shri Shri Nitai Sundar Gaur Hari Bhagavan ki, Shila Prabhupada ki. So let us look at some traits, right? Let us, since he wrote Brahmana first, let us. Brahmana, B-R-A-H, Brahmana. This is Brahmana. Brahm means confusion. Brahmana, thank you. So we're going to write 4 points of each, Prabhu. 4 sub-points. I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot, but life is like that. Right? Four sub-points. You can put bullet points of each. Each will have that. So let us discuss what is the quality of a Brahmana. Now, Her Grace Urmila Mataji strictly forbids using these words in her book and in a discussion. She strictly forbids using these words because there is a stigma, right? There's a stigma with these words. The moment you say Shudra, someone thinks, ayyo. Correct, right? When someone says Shudra, chi, we think like that. So she strictly forbids against this thing, and we had to go through a whole seminar where she reprograms us not to use these words, right? But we don't have that much time. So we're going to do slash. Here I'm going to write Brahmana before we go into the 4 points. Brahmana / ideas. These are the terms that she uses, ideas. So you follow the English better because the Sanskrit has a lot of stigma, right? No one, how many of us here would like to be a proud Shudra? Proud Shudra. I'm a Shudra. Isn't it? No one wants to say it, isn't it? Because there's a stigma in society, which is wrong actually. Which is wrong. Right? So, we are going to write idea. Now, what is the concept of ideas? So, first point. Ideas, people who are in the field of ideas, they think of guidance, wisdom and vision. These three things are in one point. Guidance, wisdom and vision. They love giving guidance. These are the people who become counselors. These are the people who become, what is it called? Consultants. Right? Counselors, consultants. They love giving guidance. Guidance, wisdom and vision. Yeah. There's no vision, huh? Is there vision? They like giving ideas. Okay, Prabhu, you have this. Let me tell you how to do it. They can advise anyone on anything and anytime. Right? Some of them, Prabhu, this is me, isn't it? Don't worry. When you read all through, you feel everything is you. Isn't it? It's like shopping, you know. Yeah, I want this. Hey, I want this also, lah. Hey, can I have this, ah? I think I'll buy all, lah. Not like that. You only can take one. Anyways, so their focus is on guidance, wisdom and vision. Next point. This field is very abstract. You cannot put it in a box. It's very abstract. It's a vast field of guidance. They focus on guidance, knowledge, vision. Okay, so very abstract. Okay? Yes. Third point. These kind of people are not expansive. Or not expensive, expansive. What is the meaning of expansive? These people don't think big. For example, if you have a Brahmana as your leader of a company, if your company was only, what is this size of this room? 50 by 50, right? Feet. Let's say if your company was 50 by 50 and your Brahmana is your CEO is a Brahmana. After 20 years also, the company will be 50 by 50. He will not grow. Not expensive, cannot think big. Can give a lot of vision to others, but he himself does not think big. Why? They are happy. They are content. Simple. These are the kind of people who they are very minimalistic. They are very minimalistic, very simple. Maybe 2 pairs of clothes. Eat this, okay. Don't eat this, also okay. That kind of people, no? They're not expansive. Now, sometimes in society, you need to think big, yes or no? Huh? You need to think big, especially to run a company, to run an organization. You need to think big. But these kind of people are very simple. So, not expansive. Okay, fourth, he's ahead of me, smart, no? He understands what we're going to do. Intelligent. Okay, thank you. Fourth point, these people, Brahmana, the idea people, do not work with people directly. Their focus is not people. Their focus is the content. Do not work with people directly. Give you an example. A teacher is generally said to be a Brahmana, right? A teacher teaches thousands of children, but the teacher is not attached to the students. The teacher is more attached to the subject. The teacher loves the subject more. The teacher is not attached to the students. Sometimes after 20 years, student come back to the teacher, Madam, sir, I was in your class. Oh yeah, very nice. How are you now? Very good. I'm so happy for you, boya. So many people come and go, isn't it? This is the reality, you know. So sometimes the Brahmana or the idea generator may seem a little impersonal. They may seem a little harsh. They may seem a little cold. Right? Fact? Because their love is not the people. Their love is the content, the subject. Now anything wrong with this? No. None of this, nothing wrong. We need people like that. They will give you very quality content. But these are the people who do not like to deal with people. They may give a class for millions of people. They may have thousands of counselors. But by But by nature, they do not like so much to dwell on people's issues. Right? They don't like to dwell on people's issues. They can give you guidance, but they don't want to dwell on it. You understand this in English? Dwelling on someone's problem. Advice and go. How they are focused on the content, subject. Nothing wrong. Next. Which shall we take? Which one shall we take next? Vaishya. Okay, thank you. So next we will take the Vaishya. Vaishya, we are going to call them as resources people. These are the people who think in terms of resource. Resources means what? Where am I going to get my minerals? Where am I going to get my grains? Where am I going to get my water, fire, electricity, wood? These are all the things I need. These are the resources people. Their job is to supply. So these people think, the first meditation, they think in terms of what is sustainable, what is regenerative, and what is profit. They think on sustainable, regenerative, and profit. All three in one. Right? Sustainable, no resourceful. You can remove that. Sustainable, regenerative, and profit. Those of you who are sitting, you have your smartphones, you can write this also down. They think in terms of sustainable, regenerative, and profit. This is the kind of people thinking that, I want to make a business out of printing. But every time buying, cutting down trees, not very good, isn't it? So they start thinking, can I make from bagasse? You know what's bagasse? Sugarcane waste. Can I make paper from that? Can I make paper from some other fiber? They start thinking in that terms, because they are worried that if I cut all the trees, not that they love the trees. If I cut all the trees, my resource is empty. So they start thinking, I have a company, let me start up a sanctuary growing trees. And someone say, wow, see this industrialist, see this businessman, they are doing so much for society and nature. Actually, they are thinking in terms of sustainability. Because if this goes, my business goes. So they start planting trees. So they think in terms of sustainable. What is sustainable? They start thinking like that. They think what is regenerative, what can continuously produce profit. And they think what is profitable. So these are the kind of people which generate wealth in society. Second point, this field is... actually, this is the middle. We should not have taken this. But anyways, this field you can say is a little abstract. Little abstract. Because you deal with concrete resources and what you do with it is abstract. Right? It's a little abstract. So I'll give an example. Yesterday I had the good fortune of going to... What's the mall? Nathan? Huh? What's that? Paradigm Mall. Paradigm Mall in PJ for a veg festival, right? It's organized by some people for vegetarian and vegan items. So it's very fantastic that you see the ideas that people are generating, the kind of sales. So these people are all resource people who was gathered there. Right? They're all resource people because I start asking their background. I talk to them personally. So I ask them, are you vegan? Are you vegetarian? They said no. Some of them, not everyone. And there's nothing to laugh at, because these people, they may not practice it, but they realize there's a market for it. Right? Whereas the people who are practicing it, they don't realize the market for it. We are just consumers, but they are producers. Think about it. Right? So these are all the people gathered there fall in this category. So some of them do not practice also, but they produce. And they are very apt in seeing what is the current trend, what is regenerative, what is sustainable. So I met two people, Chinese or whatever. So they were growing mushrooms, right? Now we don't eat mushrooms, but anyways, there's nothing to vilify people for. So they were growing mushrooms, and I was very interested. They had a mushroom starter kit, a kit which helps you to grow mushrooms wherever you want. So I saw this and I start speaking to them. I said, are you guys from biotechnology background? They said, no, we are engineers. I said, whoa. So I was with my friends, two of them sitting here. We are all engineers. Right? So I said, what field? And he said, mechanical engineer. mechanical engineer and marine engineering, one guy. And I said, you guys, engineers selling mushrooms, you know. I said, that is the Nelamela of engineers. Don't worry, huh? You have hopes. They're just completing his PhD and all. So I said, all 5 engineers were standing talking about mushrooms. I had a very interesting observation. So they were selling 2 kinds of mushrooms which are very rare in the market. It is not the common thing which people grow. So I said, like, why are you not growing, I don't know whether you know, shiitake or oyster mushroom. All know, huh? We know one I eat lah. Shiitake or oyster mushroom or button mushroom. These are common that people grow. But they were growing lion's mane. They were, anyways, different kinds of mushrooms. So I said, like, why did you choose this? Interesting lah. What is their thought process? So their thought process was this only: sustainable, regenerative, profit. They're saying this has higher this benefit, this has that benefit, this has this health benefit, and both of them don't look healthy. Both of them don't look at all healthy. Hefty, yes, healthy, no. But they were talking about the health benefit, taste, everything. And so, you know, then I realized that they fall in this category. So just to give you an example, people who think of regenerative, sustainable and profit. Everyone with me? This is a little abstract because you can take one idea, you can make into many things. So people were making, there was one person who was making a packet curry which does not require refrigeration, which can last for 1 year. Made, mixed into curry. You just have to take it out, boil it, I think, or just cook it, or just eat it, I think, something. Boil. It's all curry, everything mixed inside. It looks like ready to eat, just boil it, you can eat. It lasts for 1 year without refrigeration. How scary is that? Just kidding. So anyways, so they also make from this thing. So it's very little abstract. One item which then expands. Resource people are very expansive. These are the people who sit down and think beyond the world. Expansive. So I'll give you one more example of a booth yesterday in the vegan festival. So they were selling all the products. Now I like to know background of things. So I asked them, is this Malaysian company? She said, no. This is a Brazilian company. Right? Your Natura. This is a Brazilian company and we are marketing here. And I was like, oh, smart, you know. So in Malaysia, they start marketing perfumes and cosmetics, all vegan. So these are the people who are very expansive. They think big in terms of intercontinental, international, right? Where we are expensive. 4th quality. These people do not work with people directly. They are not bothered about who their consumer is. For them, consumer is as a market. They are not bothered. They are not worried, oh, yesterday you bought my product. They'll call you, how are you? Are you doing okay? They are worried that how you like my product or not. They are not worried about you. Understand? Nothing wrong, huh? These are the people who think about projects. Make it big, make it wonderful, go on. Does this make sense? Okay? Alright. And now we'll go on to Kshatriya, which is called governance. Kshatriya / governance. Kshatriya / governance. 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 These are the kind of people, as we know, administrators, they think in terms of what is just, what is honorable, and what is righteous. Just, honorable, and righteous. These are the people who become your military, your defense, supposed to be, Supposed to be. By nature, if the people who have this nature, they become policemen or politicians. It's supposed to be a good thing. Now can you slowly understand, as someone who does not have this quality and they enter into this field, what they're going to do? Okay? So we're going to discuss very quickly on that. Just, honorable, and righteous. This is their meditation. What is just? What is honorable? What is righteous? They only think of that. This is also a little more abstract. This is a little more abstract. The most abstract is ideas. Second comes Kshatriya. This is a little more abstract because there are various styles of governance, various style of management. Yes or no? Okay. These people are also very expansive. They sit in one place, they think, okay, we have 100 devotees coming here on a Sunday. Oh, where will they keep their slippers? Okay, make a slipper stall. 100 devotees are coming. Can they sit? I think we need to expand the temple. Wait, 100 devotees are coming. Are there sufficient places to wash the hand? Wait, 100 devotees are coming. They need drinking water facility. So a person who is a manager sits down and thinks like this, expand, expand. Because putting up basins, putting up space, right? But if a Brahmana person, he has 100 devotee coming, Jai Jagannath, Hari Bol, all Jagannath's mercy. No problem. No problem, 100 devotees come, he is happy, they are happy, Jagannath is superb happy. Right? But over time, what happens? The devotees feel a little difficult lah. Correct or not? Aya, 100 people come, wash hand one place. Okay lah Prabhu, cooperate. I'm already entering into our last topic of discussion, where the mix of the fields. Isn't it? You understand this? Very important, knowing one's nature, functioning according to it. So, this person, a real administrator, is very expansive. He starts singing, Prabhu, our festivals are now going in a larger number. You don't like me, huh? No, just kidding. Our festivals are going in a larger number. I think we need more space or we need better facilities. They're always thinking, right? Because the fourth thing about this person is that these people think about people directly. They're constantly thinking about people, what they need. So this is actually good governance. This is actually good managers. This is actually good administrators. They're constantly thinking about the welfare of the people. Oh, people are getting old. Now we need to get some chairs. Oh, young people are there. They need activity. They need entertainment. I may not like entertainment, but they need it. Understand? Huh? So the person in the administrative role thinks like that. He thinks about creating facilities to facilitate people. And some people naturally have this. They become good fathers actually. Or they become good mothers. Because parents have this kind of innate feeling. When they see their child, they say, oh, he's growing, he needs this, he needs that, better this, better that. I need to equip him. Like this. So parents have a small innate, but they have it to their children. Here we are talking about to everyone. Right? Important points. Fourth, we'll look at a person who is, again the word Shudra. So we are going to call this as artistry. Shudra / artistry. Not down there, up there. Yeah. Shudra / artistry. These are the people who meditate, who think on 3 things. 4 things actually. They think on beauty. How to make things beautiful. How things should be aesthetically appealing. These are the kind of people who work on beauty, making everything very wonderful, right? When you buy a product, like morning I gave you a product, right? When you buy a product, you see the idea for the product might have come from a Brahmana. Actually getting the product done may be done from a Vaishya, but the design of the product to make it appealing was done by artistry people. They will sit in front of the computer and design the best skills to make it the most artistically, most visually appealing. Yes? A lot of people are involved in making of a product. Every kind of person. I'm giving you this example. So these people think what is visually beautiful. They think in terms of beauty. They think in terms of support. What kind of help a person needs. Okay? Oh, a person is not able to see in the dark. I think Prabhu, we can do some light fixtures here. These are the kind of people who meditate in that. A Brahmana, if you say no light, no problem. Adjust lah. Right? But these people, I think, no, Prabhu, I get it done. Let's put a light here. Let's put a light there. I'm sure as we are speaking, you can think of some people who work like that also. Right? They think in terms of pleasure. What increases pleasure of people? Right? Like, there's this, I give this example of a bottle. Nowadays people have this, what do you call it? Sports bottle. Sports, when people go for biking or something. So you can drink water like this, right? Open the cap and drink, correct? Kashtama, illa. Simple, right? I do not know why people go into design. Anyways, so they go into design and say, no, we'll press a button, it will pop up by itself, then you can drink the water. Maya. So for someone in another field, they may not understand the logic of this. But someone in that field of design, they'll feel, no, this will make things more supportive. A person who's riding the bike, he just has to press one button and drink. Easy. Not balance his bike and open like this. Yes or no? So they think in terms of support. What a person needs. Right? And they think in terms of pleasure. Pleasure. What makes people happy? And fourth is they think in terms of functionality. functionality. Like the people who created this stand, right? They think that, okay, now is the world of social media, digital age, everything's with a camera. Now camera is not good phone, so mobile phone holder, perfect stand, adjustable, we need to make a product out of this. They design, right? So all kinds of people are needed in today's life, yes or no? So they think in terms of this. This field is very concrete. It is not abstract, very clear. Mic stand, mic stand da. If it's mic stand, it's just mic stand, isn't it? If it's drinking water, it's very concrete. You can see it. So they are not abstract, they are very concrete. These people are also not expensive. If they think of their product, they only design their product. They are not bothered about other products. You will not find them designing everything, right? And therefore, usually they stick to one company, stick to one field. Somebody is designing cars for the last 20 years. He's happy with designing cars. Some people is a carpenter making furniture. He's only happy. You don't see suddenly becoming an electrician, right? They're happy. Somebody is a painter. Someone use oil painting. He'll continue doing oil painting. You come and say, why don't you try pastel colors? I'm an oil painter artist. I'm happy with this. They're not expensive. They don't think everywhere. They're happy. And therefore, they do quality work. Because they are focused. They're not bothered about making money or big things. These are the kind of people who are just happy getting recognition. If someone comes and tells them, thank you, you did a very nice job. Wow, this table, very sturdy. They feel happy. They're not bothered so much about the money. They're more bothered about the recognition that you can give them. Very simple, Very easy to please people. Just tell them, good job, Easy, not? Like when you're walking, you see someone cleaning the road. You say, thank you so much. That is the light of their day, Because when they clean, they feel that, look, I kept the place clean. See how many people are happy? I kept it clean. Thank you. Right? So these people are the easiest to please. They're artisans. And they're not expensive. They work with people directly. Sometimes have you seen someone making a furniture and they come and show you? They said, how you like? Okay. You say, okay lah, but I think this one can be a little higher. Don't worry. I do it and give you back again. Don't worry, I'll fix it and give you back again. Why? He's concerned about what you think. He's concerned about what you think, how you feel. So this is the person in the artistry sense of feel. Yes? Okay, so I hope I have sufficiently bored you. No? Is this interesting? This is more important than interesting. Because in today's day and age, we are so messed up. You see, in the previous ages, things were very fixed in one sense. If you're born in a Brahmana family, high chances you will also be a Brahmana. Because there's no exposure. Right? You see your parents doing worship, reciting mantras, it comes naturally to you. But today's day of age with social media, even if a person is born, let's say, in a Brahmanical family, but he's watching all that TikTok and everything, and he starts to dance. And he says, I don't want to do puja, I want to dance. Right? So he comes in the field of artistry. Again, there's no wrong, but you'll find a lot of mix in today's day and age. So here we are not to vilify anyone, but to empower people. If you find yourself in this field, nothing wrong. And this does not go against Shastra. In Shastras, you'll find some people like Rishabdev. Rishabdev had 100 sons. Some became kings. Rishabdev himself was a king. Some became Brahmanas. Some became sannyasis. Right? So it is possible. Parashuram, born of a Brahmana, but acting in the terms of a Kshatriya. So this was there even in Vedic ages. Nothing to vilify, but it's more prominent in Kali Yuga. Because we have so much mass media bombardment, so much information coming, exposure they call it. So a person is also confused. Nothing wrong, find out who you are. Her Grace Urmila Madri was sharing that she is very Brahmanical, Urmila Madri, very Brahmanical. But her daughter is in the field of artistry. She loves painting. She loves doing woodwork. So the daughter felt that, I'm a ISKCON devotee, born ISKCON devotee, doing puja, decorating the deities. She felt that it was a solemn duty to be Brahmanical. That's what Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada wanted people to be Brahmanical in standards, in nature, but not in work. Not everyone can do it, isn't it? So when she finally understood from her mother's book that she was in artistry field, she felt so happy. She said, I just love to paint. I make beautiful paintings of Krishna and I give it to devotees and they're happy. Right? Nothing wrong, no? So it's very empowering. Now, whatever time we have left, 15 minutes. We will discuss what happens when these fields cross. Now for those of you who love mathematics and statistics, right? No, huh? You have 4 fields. How many kinds of crossings you'll have? How many permutation combinations can you have? I'm giving you homework so I can drink water. You have 4 fields. Think about it. How many crosses you have? You can't cross the other way. Same thing, lah. Total, how many permutations and combinations? Like if a Brahmana works in this field, how many you'll have? $108, huh? Because it's auspicious. 128. And how many? 12. 12 major, 6 categories. I'll explain how. Okay? For Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmana cross with Kshatriya. Brahmana cross with Vaishya. Brahmana cross with Shudra. Kshatriya cross with, this is already 4. Kshatriya cross with Vaishya. Kshatriya cross with Shudra. This is another 2. Right? Then, and then you have last is Vaishya cross with Shudra. Now the other way is also there. What? So total you have 12. Now let's look at the first category. We're going to let's take Kshatriya, governance. Okay, governance crossing with the field of Vaishya, diagonal. So first, if a person is an administrator working in the field of resources, a person is an administrator working in the field of resources. Now this is what exactly happened in the Soviet Union when the government took over agriculture. Right? A person who is a Kshatriya working in this field. Now both of them are expensive. Both of them thinks in big. But the Kshatriya person focuses on the people, whereas the Vaishya person terms of the product. Yes? So when, like in Russia, when the government took over agriculture, they start controlling agriculture, what to produce, when to produce, how to produce. They didn't give it to the Vaishya people. The government managers, they start producing. So they will say when to feed, when not to feed. They're worried about resources. Well. So a lot of people starved actually. There was food that was rotting in the fields because mismanagement. They could not manage it properly. A Vaishya person will not let anything go to waste. So they were not thinking in terms of sustainable regenerative. They were saying, person hungry, just supply. Just supply. But they didn't think about how long the supply would last. Because manager's job is what? If there is a need, solve it. There is a need, take quick action. Oh, then there's no resource. Okay, find a different resource. They'll think that, find something else. But the Vaishya person thinks that, no, we should not let it deplete. So there's a crossing. The administrator person will think that let's give what is a fair price for people. Right? Fair price for everyone. Everyone should pay. So this is like communism. A person should, poor people, we should charge a right price for them. They'll think like that. We should have happy customers. Everyone should be happy. Everyone will be happy, but the country or the institution will not last long. Why? They keep feeding everyone. What? Next thing they turn behind, bank balance empty. Bank balance empty. They just keep giving, expansive, creating, make everyone happy. But who is going to create the resources? So there's a mismatch. Now let's take the other way. If a Vaishya becomes a manager or a leader or CEO in the company, this will lead to corruption. If a businessman becomes the head of a organization, if a businessman, a person who's business minded becomes a leader or manager, a temple president, he will start to actually exploit. There will be corruption. Why? They don't think so long term in people's welfare. They're thinking more about how I can sustain the accounts, how I can sustain money. Big bank balance, empty people. You'll have big bank balance but nobody, because you're not thinking about people. Right? So, example of this is nowadays they have prisons which are privatized. Prisons or hospitals which are privatized. So the prison guard is always thinking that I pray people do mistake. So they enter my prison. And when they enter my prison, I don't want to let them go. Why? Kasu lah. As long as prisoners are there, I get money. So they are corrupt. Or hospitals who are privatized. Hospitals who are privatized, what they think? Is a businessman sitting as the hospital chairman. He thinks that let people remain sick. Give him a placebo. Right? Or discharge the person praying that they'll come back. Knowing that they'll come back. Give such medicine. Why? Because I need money. Right? They are always thinking that what is sustainable, what is regenerative, what is profitable. They are thinking in that terms. How to keep the person coming back to me. In hospital and prison, do you want people keep coming back? The administrator will think that let people out. But the business person will think let people come back. You understand this? This is just, I know it's a big seminar. I'm just giving you some idea. Now, let's cross another field. Let's cross governance with ideas. What happens when a Brahmana is sitting in a place of a manager? We talked a little about this, isn't it? A person who is Brahmanical but sitting as a manager or temple president. These people are very merciful. Brahmana is very merciful. This is a big problem here because a Brahmana cannot punish. And as a manager, as a leader, as a president or whatever person, sometimes need to correct people. So a Brahmana, if he's sitting, he'll say, Paravalala, it's okay. Or they'll take decisions very slow. Some big issue happens, some corruption, some this and that, but they'll take decision very slow. Why? They feel very merciful. Right? So this is a wrong, they'll say, chant Hare Krishna, everything will be okay. Parala bro. They'll say like that, okay? They prefer research and they'll keep on researching, they'll keep on discovering, finding, will come out with this paper, come out with that paper, and sometimes the decision does not happen timely, and that hurts the society. If the decision does not happen timely. Okay, they are waiting for all the information. Sometimes it just drags on. So ideas people being in administration is not good because they cannot take a heavy decision. It requires a hard heart, a little tough decision. Sometimes the manager says like this, I'm sorry that I have to put you aside. Wow, you think it's so harsh, huh? But no, manager means you have to make hard decisions, isn't it? Harsh decisions sometimes. Now let's flip it. What if the person is a Kshatriya, but he's given the role of a Brahmana, a thinker. He loves managing, he loves administration, he's good in that, but he's given to be in charge of the course content. So he starts thinking, he starts politicizing knowledge, right? Make knowledge political. Knowledge is supposed to be liberating, but so he starts changing the syllabus. Don't tell the real history. Change the history. What suits the people. I hope you understand, huh? Some things are happening nowadays, I heard. Isn't it? Some things are not revealed to the people. Because why? You get politicians in the seat of Brahmanas. Brahmanas are supposed to give Shuddha Gyan. Tell people as it is. Right? But you got politicians now who want to cover the secret, cover the knowledge. And they start making knowledge political. So they hide the history, they change the history, just to give something new, They love hierarchy, they impose hierarchy, they make just decisions. Oh, so many students are failing in the 6th standard, remove the board. Right? So many people are having tough time in 3rd, what do you call it? Tingkatan 3, what do you say in English? Form 3, right? Remove the board. So they make fast decisions. You see, every year there's a new decision in education. New minister, new decision. Because you got a political person and administrator in the role of a Brahmana. So then you'll find like this, difficult. Alright? Now, how many we have seen so far? For those of you who are still awake. We have seen 4, thank you. We have seen 4 crossings. 2 fields like that, 4 crossings. Now, let's cross ideas and resources. Let's cross Brahmanas and Vaishya. Oh, beside Vaishya put /resources. Beside Vaishya /resources. What if you get a Brahmanical person who has to be in charge of the resources of society? He does the procurement, Here we have na purchasing department. Right? I remember our time we had, I think now also we have someone who does purchasing. Purchasing person is a resource person. He'll tell you where to get the best item, how and when. Prabhu, don't buy on Monday, very expensive. Buy on Friday. The Pasa Borong is open this time. It's thinking of all that. Now if you get a Brahmana who is sitting in purchasing or sitting in resources, they will feel that why to buy? Let us grow. Why to buy? Let us grow. And they start growing some ubi kantang, isn't it? Some potatoes and maybe some small kira. Prabhu, be satisfied. Every Sunday feast, Ada menu. He's a Brahminical person saying, be satisfied. Right? But the resource person says, no, let's give variety. Let's see how it has variety and it's sustainable also. Isn't it? So if a person is a Brahminical, he don't feel enthused with the work. Ayyo, every week I have to buy. Prabhu, can we just buy once in a month? Easy, right? Why to make so much endeavor? You understand the difficulty here? It's not that the person is lazy. The person is not enthused with the job. So when you put the wrong person for the right job, you get wrong results. What is that? When you put the wrong person for the right job, because there's no wrong job. Every job is right. You will get bad results. You put the person to buy and he's not a buying person. He hates shopping. You put him to buy. What he'll buy? He'll buy the same thing always. Someone say, Prabhu, yeah, marupadi, why are you buying this only? Paralla, same thing la. Others start to get irritated. You see how this causes harm to society? Yes? Now let's take the flip side. If you put a Vaishya, a businessman, in the field of Brahminical education, what do you get? You get your universities. You get your colleges. A businessman is sitting, he thinks, why only engineering? Let's have engineering, mechanical, law. Let's put everything in one campus. What your campus teach? My camp teach everything. One field of medicine, they'll break it up. Let's have biomedical science. Why only biotech? Why only this? Break the field. What last time was technician's job, now it's a 4-year study. Pathology, this, that, study, you become a professional. They create numerous, right? Those days when we were studying, the field of engineering was very concrete. You had your electrical, you had your mechanical, you had your civil. Right? The field was very concrete. Then they start diversifying. So if a person is a resource person, he's sitting in the field of education, they will start to monetize your education. They will start to monetize your medical products. If he's sitting in a pharma industry, he said, oh, wait, you need this capsule also. Can I put it together? No, buy 2. Isn't it? Start to monetizing things. Right? And they have unethical practices. Okay? So people in this field, what happens is the field of education, the field of knowledge itself suffers. Yes or no? So one time I was teaching in one university which I cannot name here, and I was the course coordinator. Right? So I can't name. We have a similar experience. We're in the same university. So one time they called me, they said that, sir, you're the course coordinator. There's a lot of students who fail this course. I said, it's a difficult subject. They have to study. They said, no, can you readjust the syllabus? I said, what do you mean? No, now we have 15 chapters. I said, cut it down. Put it around 12 chapters. And, can the students pass? I said, they will not be engineers only. Are you crazy? How can you pass out people like this? So I said that, are you crazy? How we can pass out people like this? Right? And then I resigned. Oh, they were happy that I resigned. So I was not going to cut down the chapters. Because you can't cheat knowledge, isn't it? But someone in the field of resources, they'll feel like, adjust lah. If you learn V equals to IR, if you forget the R, still V equals to I, isn't it? Paralla. Or R pochina, at least I is still there. So business people in this field, the field suffers. The education field suffers. The medical field, which is a science, which is a knowledge field, that suffers. Isn't it not? And nowadays then we say, education quality is going down. Right? Medical quality is going down. Because they're not the right people. The wrong people are in the right jobs. Are we done? Last crossing. Right? Let's cross these 2 fields. This can turn the arrow down. Let's cross the ideas people in the field of artistry. These two opposite ends. Someone who's a thought generator, giving ideas, and he has to work with artistry work. Like if someone gives you someone who's I will not say brahmanically inclined, but let's say a person who's an idea generator, he's given a menial work. Create or manufacture or fabricate something. He'll be like, I have to go to the lab, I have to drill, I have to cut, he'll make something which is very ugly. Because he has no sense of beauty, no sense of artistry. Isn't it? And therefore you see sometimes people who have no sense of beauty, especially very idea people, when they make PPTs, it's always black and white. Very plain. Click, and people are falling asleep. Content is very interesting. Class is brilliant. I know the subject matter is so rich, but the presentation is so placid. Because it is not his forte. Yes or not? To make PPTs. It's black and white. But there are people who are very good in artistry, right? You give them your PPT. So nowadays you have that AI. I think Gamma or something. These are different websites which help you to generate your PPTs. You just upload your PPT and they make it all beautiful. Isn't it? So we have to get help from someone. So someone, if he realizes that I am brahmanically inclined, I am an idea guy, today's day and age, if I put a very placid PPT, it's not going to attract. But I don't have the knack, I don't have the skills. So who do I have to collaborate with? Who do I have to collaborate with? Someone in which field? Artistry. Prabhu, can you please help make my PPT? Yeah, and he makes with animations and what do you call that? Transitions, animations and all this kind of graphics, and he makes it very interesting. That guy would take one day to do this. This guy would take one lifetime to do this. Because it is not his expertise, not his field, he has no interest in it. Okay, this is a very placid idea. Now, let's switch the fields. A person who loves beauty, artistic, not bothered, when he is put into the field of education or artistry, right? He will give ideas which are pleasing to the people, not pleasing to the subject matter. He will give ideas which please people. They bring sensuous thing into education. They want to make education sensuous. Because artistic people want to make everything lively, beautiful and sensuous, attraction, right? So then you'll find today's Mahabharat movie, which is supposed to be an education. But all the film stars, all the actors look like models. Mahabharat, everything becomes so sensuous. The movie becomes sensuous. A scripture becomes sensuous. They start writing books with more romance than actual qualities. Why? Because they're sensuous. These are writers, right? Not all writers, Some writers. If they write for education, they are brahmanas. If they write for romance or sensuous, then they are artistries. Not all writers are. It's not a blank thing. So you understand this roughly? They start hurting the field. So there are few more, but I think you get the idea, okay, of the crossing. So here is where we understand that it is so important that all of us really understand ourselves. It is not a big science. You first self-acceptance, self-understanding, see where I can work with, and one has to be very real with oneself. Sometimes for the sake of society, because we have less people, we have to put someone who is not in the field in the field. A person who is a brahmana, we put them as temple president. It will not work well. It will not work well. A brahmanical person as president does not work well. President means you need to have governance. A person who can make decisions, hard decisions, and always thinking the welfare of others. A brahmana is just happy that puja is going on, devotees are coming, parolla. Right? Prabhu, today dal and rice. No problem, Prabhu. Dal and rice is very healthy. But a governance person is realizing that people are not coming. Oh, they don't like the prasadam. Okay, what can we do? He starts speaking to the resource person. Get some ideas. He starts speaking to the artistry person. He's the guy who moves and gather people, who administers. So therefore, this is very important. Sometimes for the sake of less people in society, we have to do the work of others. What happens is this harms the field. This harms ourselves also. The person goes through a lot of stress. Person is placed into a lot of stress. And therefore, either the person gets hurt or the field gets hurt. So it's not that anyone can do anything unless you're a Shuddha Bhakta. Unless you're a pure devotee who is beyond the three modes of material nature, that you can do anything and everything, you are good in everything, you are an all-rounder, then that's a different thing. But all of us have our own swabhava, which we come by our own natures, and we have to really understand this and work where we can work. If you work in the field that you are for, two things will happen. You'll become free, you'll become so enriched, so empowered that you can actually do justice to your field. Right? So understanding ourselves, proclivity is very important. We can do the work of another field in terms of emergency, but not long. It will not last long. So therefore we need then less devotees or a lot of devotees? We need a lot of devotees. Because if all devotees are just Brahmanical, we will go nowhere. We will just every day see each other's face. How Prabhu, how's your chanting? Very nice. How's your chanting? Very nice. Prabhu, I am happy. I am also happy. Shake hand. But how will the society grow? How will the temple grow? We want the temple to grow, yes or no? Yes. The Brahmana person also wants the temple to grow. He prays for it. Temple, please grow. But it's the administrator person who has to sit down and think how to grow the temple. So therefore, sometimes you'll see nowadays especially, we don't get people in all fields. Therefore, there's a committee for everything. There's a committee. People need to sit and discuss because you'll have people of various natures. So for everything we do, Kalau Sangha Sakti, they say. In Kali Yuga, everything is mixed up. We come together, we discuss, we stay together. Let's have many dialogues and discuss. The idea person will always keep inspiring people, but he will not do anything. The idea person will keep inspiring, but he will not lift a finger because it's not his forte. But immediately hearing him, the Vaishya person, the Kshatriya person, they will start running. So those days, the Raja Rishis, they will always have a Brahmana who will keep inspiring him and he will act. Seeing his action, the Brahmana becomes inspired. But he will not lift a finger. Huh? Nothing wrong with it. Yes or no? Right? So like this is actually how Varna Ashram, this is how actually society is supposed to live. Therefore, we all need to pray that many devotees come, and we all need to ensure that many devotees are taken care of, and we all need to participate also. Because many devotees are needed. Right? So we need to form committees, 5 people, 10 people, where we get a different taste of all kinds of people. And this is where even nowadays in our ISKCON world, we are moving to that. Everywhere there's a committee. Because it's not a one-man show anymore. Srila Prabhupada, Shuddha Bhakta, he's a one-man show. He can do it. But we are not there. We need each other. Yes or no? We need each other. We need each other. And therefore, we must come together. We must discuss, lend our hand. Same time, if someone is not able to function, don't vilify them. Parangla Prabhu, how many times we have told him, still he's not doing la. That means what? His problem, my problem, or whose problem? Nobody's problem. He just cannot function. He's not in that field. Yes or no? But that person you keep catching and twisting and turning and pushing, what will happen? That person will go. Either he will leave or he will die. Yes? So sometimes we don't have the right person for the right job, then pray for it lah. Jagannath will send. So therefore let us all value each other. Let us all value each other for their contribution. Let us all try to find ourselves. Let us all try to work together in a cooperative spirit. After all, we are here. Nobody is paying anyone money. Right? We are all here voluntarily. We are all here because we realize the truth of life. We are all here to come closer to Krishna. But to come closer to Krishna, we need to come together first. Sometimes we get so tired. Parvalla. Prabhupada is there. Krishna is there. I am here. 3 pere podum. 3 people are enough. What do you need all the... If we think like that, neither will we be nourished in long term. Because how will you keep inspiring yourself? Correct or not? If you just keep thinking 3 people are enough, you'll never inspire yourself. So we need to keep... Therefore preaching is important. Keep increasing the number, bringing in more people. And then the administrator, right people, they need to have a lot of meetings thinking how to engage people. Because these are the people who think about people. Oh, we have now small... Like, I remember at one point of time we start thinking, that we have boys classes, girls classes. Now what do girls need? So we design a separate syllabus for girls. Right? Madhu remembers. We design a separate syllabus for girls. We design a separate syllabus for boys. What they need. So thinking of what people need, this is an administrative job. Now I did not think about it. It's not my field. But I was told to think about it. But thinking is my field. So the moment when I was told, I start thinking and I start creating a syllabus. But I did not execute it. I gave it to someone else. You understand how this works? Right? So we need many people to come together. And this is a beautiful relationship of Varna Ashrama. Everyone follows their nature. We will be happy. You will not cause fear in others. You will not cause fear in yourself. You'll be free. You'll be so empowered, so enriched. And automatically, even without thinking, Krishna consciousness will expand, expand, expand. Why? People coming, they will see the energy. They will see the synergy. Have you heard this word? Energy and synergy. Automatically, you don't have to put a poster. Even if you have no decorations, people can feel the energy. They can feel the synergy. And therefore, people will become very much attracted. Yesterday, I can't see far, but I'm not sure. Yesterday, I met Prabhu, who met me yesterday. If you're here, I can't see. So, he came to this temple in 1995. Who was here in 1995? Prabhu was here in 1995. You were here? Born today, huh? Sure. Born today. 1995, he had come to this temple. That time, simple house, nothing much was there. Some white Krishna deity was there. So he came, and after all these years, he came yesterday. First time. So somehow or other, I was in the temple chanting, and I saw him, and we started talking. And he's just so long coming back. But then immediately he became drawn to the temple and deities, and he felt a sense of connect. So we don't know, no, when Krishna will send who. We just have to be ready to take care of them if you're a manager type the person, to engage them if you're a Brahmanical type the person, to create support, pleasure and beauty if you're in the artistic type of person, or to ensure that things keep running if you're in the Vaishya or the resources type person. So this is the beauty of Varna Ashram. Ultimate purpose is to please Krishna. All of us, whatever the duty may be, cleaning, cutting, whatever it may be, is trying to please Krishna. So like this, we like to end this presentation. We are very, very extremely grateful to Her Grace Urmila Mataji for giving. Nothing came from my head. This is all whatever we attended her seminar. I'm also very grateful to all you assembled devotees sitting here for very patiently listening and giving your time. I hope that whatever we shared may be of some use to you. And I seek your blessings for my own spiritual life. I'd like to thank the temple management and committee for giving me a chance to speak also. Thank you all so much. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. It's very Prabhu for a wonderful Bhagavad class, and also for the Tamil class. We'd like to thank his guest, Arupa Ravina Prabhu. Can you chant one round of Hare Krishna for that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. A few announcements. Tomorrow is Ekadasi. Ekadasi fast. So the following day we break at the same time from 7:11 to 11 o'clock.